I'm afraid I see myself in you. A collection of annotated silence. Chapter 1. The Invisible Scaffolding. The sky tonight is the color of a forgotten bruise, a yellowish purple, the kind that doesn't hurt to touch anymore but signifies a deep, settled damage. I try to explain the precise shade of my mood to see my mother over dinner. The words formed in my mind as perfect, intricate shapes, jagged metal and soft, rotten wood, but when they left my mouth, they were just broken antennae, twitching on the linoleum floor, picking up only the empty hiss between stations. She smiled, a clean, simple curve, and said the weather report promised sun tomorrow. She doesn't understand. The weather is not outside. It's a low-pressure system inside my rib cage, and it's threatening to flood every chamber. I am the curator of a museum dedicated to my own past. Each exhibit is a former version of me, preserved behind thick glass. There's the one at 7 who believed eye contact was a form of violence, the one at 14 who wore silence like a suit of armor, the one from just 6 months ago who thought they'd finally figured out the combination to the lock. Their mouths are all frozen in a silent, desperate yell. I walk the halls every day, dusting the plaques, but the curator's office is empty. I've been on a permanent break since I started. The lights are on a timer, clicking on and off with no one to witness it. I saw a perfect shiny person today. Their laugh was a perfect rounded stone, smoothed by 1,000 polite interactions. It landed in the quiet of the room with a solid final thud. A violent urge rose in me to take a sharp, more angular rock and scratch a deep, ugly line right through the middle of it. Not out of malice, but out of a desperate scientific curiosity, just to see what was underneath the finish. Was it sawdust? Was it more stone? Or was it just a terrifying, perfect hollow? Chapter 2. The Machinery of Effect. I attempted to build a ladder out of my own good intentions. The rungs were crafted from "I'll do better tomorrow, and this time I mean it." I tied them together with shaky promises. The construction felt sturdy enough from a distance, but the moment I put my full weight on the first step, the whole structure buckled. The wood of my resolve was soft, termite-ridden. Now I'm just sitting here in a pile of splintered promises, picking shards of should have out of my palms. The ceiling I was trying to reach seems farther away than ever. There is a perpetual party in the ballroom of my skull, and everyone is invited. The DJ is a manic, unseen force playing a track that's all distorted bass and a synth line that feels like a dental drill. The lights are a violent, pulsating pink that stains the backs of my eyes. The guest of honor, some stable, coherent version of myself, left hours ago, overwhelmed. I never saw them leave. Now I'm just the empty room they forgot to clean, the sticky floors, the spilled drinks of anxiety, the confetti of fragmented thoughts. I'm not even the host. I'm the aftermath. I've come to the conclusion that my soul is made of a cheap synthetic material, the kind that looks decent on the rack under specific lighting, but the moment you get it home, it reveals its true nature. It pills after the first wash of adversity. The color of my spirit fades quickly under the glare of genuine expectation. I'm trying to learn love. I'm trying to learn to love its thinness, its lack of quality, to appreciate it as a deliberate aesthetic choice, the beauty of the disposable, but it's hard when you feel everyone else is wearing silk and you're falling apart at the seams. Chapter 3. The Chalk Outline. This afternoon, in a fit of what I can only call metaphysical cartography, I traced the outline of my shadow on the kitchen floor with a piece of white chalk. The shape it made was so small, so laughably temporary, it looked like a police sketch of a missing person who was never really there. I sat inside my own dark shape for a long time until the sun, indifferent to my project, continued its arc. The shadow stretched, distorted, and then vanished completely. I was left alone on the cold tiles, a chalk outline, waiting for a crime scene that will never arrive. The crime is existence, and the victim is me. We are all just background characters in everyone else's main story. I've read this before, but today I felt it in my bones. I was in a cafe, and I watched a person have an animated conversation, their hands flying, their face a map of emotion. I was just a blur in their periphery, the stock photo, person at nearby table. I keep trying to step into my own spotlight to deliver a monologue that matters, but when I open my mouth, my lines are written in a language I don't understand. It's all phonetic sounds. I'm an extra in my own life, dressed in the wrong costume. The world is a vast, complex vending machine. I keep inserting my coins of kindness, my bills of patience, my limited edition tokens of vulnerability. I press the button labeled connection or purpose or just one day of quiet inside my head. I hear the mechanism engage. The spiral of hope turns and turns with a grating sound. but the prize never drops. Sometimes I just get a hollow clunk from deep inside the machine. Sometimes nothing happens at all. My currency is accepted, but the product is perpetually out of stock. Chapter 4. Pressure-Tested Smiles. I don't want to be a forecast of potential, a chance of emotional showers later in the evening. I want to be the storm itself. I want to be the sudden, electrifying blackout that plunges the street into chaos and truth, not the dimmer switch in a room that never gets fully dark. I want my anger to be a weather system, my joy a landslide. This controlled central heating emotional life is a slow death. I'd rather be a natural disaster than a well-maintained park. My therapist says I need to anchor myself in the present. She paints a word picture of a sturdy boat, a calm sea, a heavy iron anchor sinking into the sandy bed. But she doesn't understand. The present isn't a calm sea. It's a life raft, and it's patched with duct tape and desperate prayers. And the anchor? It's not touching bottom. The rope is unspooling forever into the black, cold, deep below. I am not anchored. I am adrift, and the abyss is not below me. It is in every direction. I am practicing my smile in the mirror. It's a difficult technique to master. It's not about the upturn of the lips, that's the easy part. It's about the eyes. My eyes refuse to cooperate. They remain two dark pools of I see you and I know you see me. The overall effect is less hello and more a visible, manufactured warning label. Contents under pressure. Handle with care. Do not shake. I fear one day the seal will break. Chapter 5. A Frequency of One. I tried to cleanse my palate with a happy song, one of those major key anthems about dancing without consequence. It felt like being force-fed refined sugar with a rusty spoon. The melody was so insistently bright, so aggressively simple, it scraped against the complex minor key machinery inside me. My teeth ached from the sweetness. My fillings felt like they were vibrating at a hostile frequency. I had to turn it off and sit in the restorative quiet, the beautiful neutral noise of the refrigerator. That, at least, makes no pretensions towards joy. There is a version of me that is okay. I see her sometimes, like a reflection in the window of a train that's speeding past my own. She's blurred, smeared by velocity, but I can make out the basic shape. Shoulders relaxed, mouth curved into something that isn't a performance. She's looking out her own window and she's not seeing me. She's just going somewhere. I hate her a little, not with malice, but with the bitter jealousy of a prisoner watching someone walk free on a television screen. My love is not a warm blanket. To offer it as such would be a lie, and it would leave you cold. My love is a shard of sea glass, worn smooth by the relentless turbulence of my own ocean. Unique in its color and form, undeniably beautiful to hold, but it still has sharp edges. It is still fundamentally broken glass. It was made in a moment of being discarded and shattered, then polished by a cold, vast, and indifferent force. To accept it is to risk a cut. To cherish its beauty is to understand its origin and damage. I made a sound today that was not a word, not a song, not a scream. It was a pure frequency, a tone that rose from a place deeper than language, a vibration that bypassed my brain entirely. It was the sound of a feeling for which there is no name. For one glorious, terrifying second, I felt the walls of the world, the walls I'm always talking about, vibrate in raw sympathy. They shimmered, threatening to dissolve. Then the sound ended, the resonance faded, the walls reset, harder and more real than before. But for that 1 second, I knew they were just drywall. They keep telling me to find my people, as if there's a clubhouse with a secret handshake. But what if my people are not a tribe? What if we are just a scattered array of lost signals, each broadcasting our own unique encrypted static into the same empty night? We are not looking for each other, we are simply proof for one another that the silence is not absolute. My signal is weak, and my frequency is strange, but if you're listening, and your noise sounds like mine, I'm afraid, and I see myself in you.